The EFL Championship is back and so are Hull City. The Tigers are away to Coventry at the CBS Arena on Matchday 1 of the 25-26 season, and with kick-off in about 6 hours time, I think it's about time that we're headed down to the MKN Stadium to catch the coach down to Coventry. Let's go! Made it to the Coventry Building Society, CBS Arena, ready for Coventry versus Hull City in Matchday 1 of the 25-26 season. But first, as with every new ground, I need to go into the stadium store and pick up a pin badge and also the programme for the match. And I did exactly that. I headed into the Coventry Superstore to pick up my pin badge and my programme, but then some news had hit from the Hull City Twitter that we'd re-signed Joe Gelhardt on loan for the season. So that was a real positive going into the match. I'll whack the image up from Twitter on the screen as I did try and record it, but as you can tell, this camera angle with the sun is absolute tosh. But yeah, as I mentioned, that was a real positive going into this game. He made it clear he wanted to come back, and he has, so hopefully he can perform for us this season. I was then in the right place at the right time to see the Hull City team coach arrive, where the players got a rather warm welcome. The youngsters were some of the first off the coach, although it's this way, lads, not that way. Don't blame yourself, it is confusing. Have you ever seen a tree get off a coach? Well, you have now. The signing that created the most noise, though, was, of course, Ollie McBurney. Before entering the stadium, I decided to have a little walk round to grasp the location and also what they have to offer outside, just to help my ratings later on. I must say they had loads of fans in like their own fan park, which is quite a good touch. I've never been to a stadium with one of those before, and as with every stadium, they've got statues of those who brought success to the club before. Anyway, after eventually emptying the kitchen sink out of my pockets to get into the stadium, we managed to get in. Up some very steep stairs, I must say, to my seat where this was the view. Not a bad view, not a bad stadium either, it has got to be said. Before we head any further into the video, we're going to travel back in time to the morning where I gave a brief overview of what I thought about today's teams. We'll start with the hosts of today's fixture, Coventry City, and they've played 5 pre-season games, managed to get 1 win, 2 draws and 2 defeats. Although it must be said, they were playing some decent opposition, such as Monaco and Real Betis. I think that the players that we need to watch out for are in their attacking department. You've got Jack Radoni, who was being talked about loads last year. He was the top contributor for Coventry when you add up goals and assists with 21. That being 12 assists with his 9 goals. He's just a pretty good player for this league. We also need to watch out for Haji Wright should he be playing. He was Coventry's top goal scorer last year with 12 goals. As for the Tigers, well, their pre-season has been a little bit different. They've managed to play 6 games, winning 5 in their first 5 and then drawing to Getafe at home in their final pre-season fixture. Despite it all looking pretty good on the pitch, off the pitch, the struggles still continue. At this moment in time, they're still under the transfer embargo, although there is an appeal taking place, and that should be due to be finalised and finished in the next week, I think. With that all said and done, we've just got to find out what happens today. I'm really wanting a win, don't get me wrong. 3 points would be nice, but away on the opening day, we'll take a draw. A defeat, nobody wants, but if it happens, it happens. One year though, I would like it where in the league, on match day 1, every single team earns a draw and it's just the same, like everyone's on a point, so it doesn't really matter after 1 week. And then if it can carry on going for 2 all the way through to 46, that'll be quite funny, won't it? It could go that way actually. Birmingham did draw against Ipswich last night, and you know, the less we talk about the refereeing performance, I'm not going to get into that, the better. Let's just hope that we have a half-decent refereeing performance today. Next on the agenda was to grab some food, and I didn't film this bit as, again, I was a little bit nervous. But it has to be said, I love the fact that you get it in a box, and I also love the fact that you get like this 3-in-1 cutlery thing, where you get a knife, fork and napkin. I think that's really, really neat, and something that I've not seen at any ground before. As you can tell from my face here, I didn't think the pie was too bad, although you will have to wait until the end of the video to see my ratings to see exactly what I thought of it. It was about this time that the lineups got announced, and here's the whole lineup. We've got a pretty strong team there, Ajayi making his debut as well as Lundstrom and Ngala, so I was quite happy with the lineup to be honest and hoping that they could do a job. We've also got the likes of McBurney and Gelhardt featuring on the bench. Also, with John Lundstrom, I swear I've only ever seen him score screamers from outside the box, so I'll be hoping for some of that this season. As for the Coventry lineup, they start with former City keeper Carl Rushworth in goal, and they do have the key player that we mentioned earlier, Jack Rederney, starting. And as for the other key player that we mentioned earlier, Haji Wright, he was subject to starting on the bench. Whether that's through an injury or not, I wasn't quite sure. Both teams were then out to complete their warm-ups, whilst some of the Coventry players were also trying to avoid the sprinkler systems. It was quite a warm day to be fair, I'd be jumping in it rather than avoiding it. And by then, it was almost time to kick off the season. Oh, but wait ladies and gentlemen, we have a TIFO on the show. English football and we have a TIFO. This is momentous. It says we'll live and die in these towns. Obviously, a big phrase within the Coventry City Football Club community. We tried a TIFO in our own home games, I think the season before last, and it didn't really last that long, I'll catch on, but I thought it was quite good while we had it. The teams were then walking out to begin their new season, to a wonderful display from Coventry with their TIFO and also the flame cannons. Let's all hope that the boys put on a good performance today and we're here for a good game. I must also say that the atmosphere before kick-off was a very good one. Everyone was really hyped, really excited to see what this game would bring. So that will also go towards our atmosphere rating at the end of the video. And that's it. We kicked off our 25-26 championship campaign. Come on City. There's our new gaffer, Sergei Yakirovich, repping quite a smart look to be fair. A suit, no tie, but it works. There's also Frank Lampard, who we don't want to mention.
10 minutes in, the game's starting to liven up now. Coventry about one or two good chances. We've just had a good chance, but it was offside. Anyone's game still at the minute. Chance for Coventry. Huge blocks it, now we've got a corner. 20 minutes down, Coventry just had a chance again. They've had most of the ball as well, looking up the score really. Just pinned back like we have been before. Some AJs tried to knock a few balls forward, won't go in. And then, apart from that, it's been good defensively though. As Banjo catches the ball from that corner. We need to start kicking on soon, certainly second half. It's still all Coventry. We really haven't had anything to cheer about. And to be fair, I've had a really, really good penalty claim denied, in my opinion, for where I'm stuck. I don't want it to be anything. But it looks like half an appeal. I'd love to see the stats at half time. But at the minute, in the words of Mark Goldbridge,
could not pass a bloody parcel.
Regan Slater's had two good chances since I last recorded. Just can't finish them. Again, nothing much happening apart from that. We've maybe won a corner each. Nothing extremely shouts about. It's quite a flat half to be honest. Hopefully it all shakes up a little bit for the second. It's half time. I'm not very impressed with the first half, but granted it is the first 45 minutes of the season. It's still 0-0, that's a positive. But yeah, our defence has been okay. We've had a couple of good chances, but it's been all Coventry really. We can't really pass the ball. Panker's had to make a good save. I'm not sure Carl Rushworth in their goal has had to make a good save yet, or even a save at all. Yeah, I need to check the stats. I'm not sure we've had a shot on target, but there's still hope for the second half. We've actually had more possession, but they've dominated us everywhere else, including shots on target, and we've given away more fouls, so it's no good at the minute, but there's room to improve. Let's go for the second half. Second half, let's go. The second half now, we had a good chance within the first minute, Kamara, and then they've also had a couple now of giving away a cheap free kick through not being able to pass again, and they're about to take it. Defended by, as you probably hear, Can I also say that utter woke nonsense making Hull shoot towards their away fans in the first half and not the second? What's that all about, Coventry?
On On the topic of woke nonsense, Coventry's also a ground where you're not allowed to have your caps on your bottles. I mean, what is going on?
Closest chance of the game goes to Coventry, just at the post. All of that, it's a brilliant effort from outside the box. It's not good. Got a corner from it though. Riled the crowd up as well, they've been quite quiet so far. Not by Hughes again, hopefully that's a common theme, not only of this game but the season. And we can't counter. At some point we've got to be looking to get McBurney or even Gelhardt or a bunch of changes, especially on top. Kamara's just been Sir Alex Ferguson in that 1 hour.
He could have been killed.
But now we're having quite a good spell of like 2 minutes. So if we keep this up, get the momentum, get the subs on, do a job, get the 3 points, go back home happy. It's giving us a card, it's giving us a yellow card for basically nothing. Coventry run a couple of more corners, McBurney's on now, so everyone's hyped about that. I like Charlie Hughes, he's being a good captain today. John Lundstrom would also make a good run though, he's commanding in that defensive midfield position. Always got praise to be a player of his quality. He don't just offer goals outside the box, but also leadership on the pitch. Coventry have just increased their atmosphere after thinking that they'd scored for some reason, even though Pandu just caught it on his line, and it was literally nowhere near going in. In the 77th minute now, so not long left, but this is the time for a winner for Hull, of course. Gelhardt coming on the right wing, replacing it for Kamara. We've now got Gelhardt, McBurney and Darla. We've got those up top now, which on paper is a really good front three. It's just, can we get the momentum away from them? We have been better since McBurney's come on, to be fair. Peter Palmer's had a good chance. And we've got a good chance now.
Here's a little view of the Coventry crowd. Not quite a sellout today, but not far off. There are a couple of empty seats, particularly in that far corner. The attendance is 29,052 and the stadium holds 32,000. So to be fair, it's not very far off being sold out. I do like the screens that tell you the score at Coventry. You've got an absolute retro looking one here, and then in opposite fashion you've got the biggest screen that you will ever see in your life.
Pando's down, maybe got hit in the head from a close effort. Despite it being 0-0 and we've got 3 minutes of regular time to go, it's not been the most boring one, even if it still, obviously it might not end 0-0. But if it does, it's not been and as a City fan, I'll take a point away on the opening day's Coventry. We've got into the playoffs last season.
At this point, Coventry keeper Carl Rushworth must have been really bored, so decided to start a fight with Matt Crooks, but Ollie McBurney was having absolutely none of it. Probably one of the most entertaining parts of the game, to be completely honest.
Added time now, 8 minutes. A lot of things can happen in added time, especially in Hull City. So there's still hope, but there's also still those nerves now. It's a bit tense now. Tinsdale's doing very well defensively. They've just got a free kick in a really, really dangerous position in the final seconds here. CBS Arena is emptying out like there was a fire drill. But that's full time. We'll take a point.
full time then. Let's get back on the coach and discuss post-match when we get back in Hull. Well, we're back from the game now, not in Hull but at home instead. A little bit of time has gone, but I'm still ready to talk post-match analysis. I suppose I can take this off now. Firstly, I'll need to review the footage and see what I said before, because I can't really remember. I don't know if I was overly negative or not, but my first thoughts now are that it wasn't our best performance, but it wasn't Coventry's either, and I think part of that is because it's still the first game of the season. There'll be plenty of teams in the league that won't be playing their best or anywhere near yet. We had players who were key for us last season and performed quite well, such as Matt Crooks, that maybe didn't have the best game today. But I don't want to single anyone out. I don't want to heap negativity on anyone. I think to earn a point, everyone did their job, especially a clean sheet as well. They did their job and we're pretty satisfied with the point. That being said, I do think that Coventry had the best chances of the game. They had a penalty appeal from where I was sat. It seemed like a pretty fair one to appeal. And also they did hit the post. And there are plenty of other chances. If I get the stats up actually, yeah, Coventry ended up with 17 shots altogether compared to just our 7, although both teams did only manage 3 on target, and I suppose that's the key figure at the end of the day after goals. Other than that, Coventry bossed us on everything stat-wise: possession, passing accuracy. They got less fouls than us, less offsides. But again, it's the amount of goals that you score that counts. I thought that Sami Ajayi was probably our man of the match today. Although Ryan Giles did okay. To be fair, the whole back line did pretty okay. Charlie Hughes was a nice and commanding captain. I like Lundstrom. He really does command on the pitch with hand signals as well as talking. You know, he's getting everyone up at the right times and stuff. Pando's probably quite a good leader as well. I can't hear him sat all the way up where I was. But he definitely seems like he's got the confidence to manage the back line. Not that they need help, but again, it was a big team effort, a big team structure, particularly in the back. 4, 5 or 6, including the keeper. I don't think it's anything to be worried about at all, and we'll take this into our next game at home to Oxford, where hopefully we get 3 points, and hopefully the MKM Stadium curse has left us now. We can't forget that we've also got the additions of Ollie McBurney, Joe Galehart, plenty of other people like the kids, Nathan Tingsdale off the bench, who didn't start today, and maybe with a start they'll show us more on the pitch. So yeah, that's my final call. Also, let me know if you enjoy these types of videos, because I sort of enjoy doing them. Like, I enjoy going to the football, but I'm also not the most confident in filming at the game, because there's some people who I know in the whole circle that already have like an image of me in their head, and I don't want to be judged for doing this in a different way to I already am. But if there's people out here who benefit from these, enjoy them, then that sort of gives me the encouragement and confidence that I need to just forget it anyway and just do what I enjoy. Anyways, as I already said, we'll go on to next week. I'm not sure if I'll be filming it. I might just do away games. It depends what kind of support this video receives or how it goes down. But for now, I'll leave you at the end of this video with my stadium rating for the CBS Arena. Right then, Coventry, CBS Arena, thank you for the hospitality. I've enjoyed my day out. Let's start by rating the stadium. Now, before the game, as I mentioned, I did have a walk around, tried to look at the stadium. Also on the inside, we could get a view of it. I actually quite like it. I think the outside is superb. It's got a fan park where obviously fans of the home side can get together, but they were quite friendly to away fans that wanted to drink as well. They had good activities for the kids. Inside the stadium, the away area, like where you can buy food and drink and chill out, that was quite big. I also liked the staircases up. You could see the other side of the staircase. And then as for the stadium itself, when you're sat in there was nothing wrong with it. The view was great, there was no restricted view. The stairs were a little bit steep, I've got to say, saw some people trip up on those. But at the end of the day, what can you do about that? Overall, as a rating, I'm going to give the stadium a 7, I think. We don't do 0.5s here, so it's either a 7 or an 8, but we'll go with a 7. Next up is atmosphere. So, firstly, Coventry fans, you are lovely, and I don't want to upset you here. And this is just based on the match that I attended. Pre-game, I thought the atmosphere was brilliant. You got the tifo up. When the music was going, you were creating lots and lots of noise. I did think, though, at some points within the game, the atmosphere could have been better, but that also may have been down to the game being a 0-0. Don't get me wrong, though, when you hit the post, when you had the opportunity to cheer your team on, you did. To motivate them, you were clapping, you were cheering, and as you were seeing in some of the clips before, you were making some noise. The stadium was nearly full as well, which is quite good for a 12:30 kickoff when the game is on telly. So I'm sorry if in the video I've been a little bit negative, but at the end of the video here, with 5 being average, I am going to give you a 6 for atmosphere. Again, I didn't think it was electric, specifically on the day, but watching the clips back in editing here, in a lot of the clips, genuinely, I can actually hear you in the background. So, yeah, we're going to go above average, and we're going to go 6. That might improve in another game when it's not a 0-0, and I do want to go to Coventry again, where we can obviously do these ratings again, and also create an average. I thought that the food and drink at Coventry was immaculate in one sense, and a little bit disappointing in another. So the food that I actually did have, the pie, it was a chicken balti pie, and it was pretty good quality. I love, and I really, really do love the fact it comes in a box, and also the 3-in-1 knife, fork, napkin. I thought that's really unique and really, really helpful, to be quite honest. That said though, the downer for me here will probably be the lack of options. I know I'm a Hull fan and we are pretty blessed with our food options, our street food, and we probably are the best in the league. But to only be selling pies, I think, and maybe a hot dog is a little bit substandard, I believe. Also, not being allowed caps on the bottles is probably worthy enough of deducting a star. I know it's probably like for legal reasons or whatever, but I'm sure I've been in away ends where they let you keep them still. The price for the food and drink is okay as well. So overall, Coventry, for food and drink, I'm going to be giving you a 6 again. It's above average, but there can be some room for improvement. We'll go talk about cost now. We've discussed the cost of the food and drink, and I thought it was okay. The cost of the ticket for me was £27, I believe, which isn't too bad for a game of this level. I know that there's plenty of grounds charging a lot more. I don't know what much more there is to say on cost. I got a programme, which was £3.50, I believe, which again is pretty standard for the paper copies nowadays. So overall on cost, I'm going to give it an 8. Our final rating talking point then is location. And to be honest, I don't really want to give out 10s because I always think that there is room for improvement. But I must say, Coventry's location, like the location of the stadium and the other areas it offers, such as car parking, and even having its own train station, is unbelievable. I think the access to it is great. You can get there by train, like I've mentioned, they literally have their own dedicated train station. There's plenty of parking available. There's buses that go to and from the stadium, and I think you can get there from walking as well. So to be honest, I don't like giving out 10s, but I don't think we'll be giving out many. And Coventry for location, I will be giving you 10 stars out of 10. So if I've done my maths correctly, out of a possible 50 stars Coventry, you have earned yourself 37, which is very good, I'd say. I know this is the first one I've done, so we don't really have any good way of being able to tell what is a good score and not, but only having 13 marks taken off, I think is pretty good, and you should be quite happy with that. I would like to go to Coventry again, experience it all, and document it a little bit better where I'm a little more confident and less worried about what people think. I'd also document it more in a way where I'm focusing on these 5 points because if I'm completely honest, I kind of forgot about them while I was there on this occasion. So yeah, again, Coventry, thank you for hosting us. All the best for the rest of the season. And if you guys watching this have been to Coventry, let me know your experience at the football ground down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and stay tuned for what might be more vlogs in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.